What's going on, everyone? In this video, we'll be going over 5 ways to improve your SAT study routine to maximize your August SAT score. Since we have no time left, let's get right into the first way to improve your SAT study routine. Set clear goals. Now, setting clear goals is such a big part of your SAT study routine or any study routine for any exam in general, because what are you studying for? How exactly do you want to achieve what you want to achieve if you have no idea what you want to achieve? Like what I said, this is crazy, right? It just doesn't make sense. What you want to do is, if you want a 1400 score, right, you gotta set that clear goal and then monitor your progress along your study routine journey, right? As you take a practice test, see, hey, did my score improve? Am I closer to that 1400 that I so desperately want? Or am I at 1350? Am I at 1370? Am I at 1100, which is like really far away? So just monitoring where you are is something that can help a lot, especially when you have that set clear goal. If you don't have that set clear goal, then you really don't know what you're doing. You don't know like if you are closer to what you want to achieve or further away. It allows time students to say, I want to improve my SAT score. But if you only want to improve it 100 points, there's things you can do that can help you improve 100 points much faster versus if you do these other techniques that are more built for improving 200 points. So knowing exactly what your goals are and finding the best ways to achieve them. Like for example, if your goal is to get 800 math score and you're studying reading like intensely and not math at all, how exactly are you gonna get the 800 math score? So just make sure you have that clear goal in mind before you start studying, because that way you will actually work towards something and you can monitor your progress. Quality over quantity. Guys, I understand if you're studying, like, let's say if you have 4-hour study sessions within a week, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm studying so much. Like I'm studying like 4 times a week for 4 hours each. If that time like you're spending, you're studying, you're also playing games, you're taking way too many breaks, quantity when it comes to studying, but you need quality. You need quality studying. If you're not doing quality studying, there's really no point. I'd rather you do less days but more intense studying where you're fully focused versus more days and studying that's kind of like half butt, right? You're not actually, fully focused, and some things are going in your brain, some things are going out, because that's really how you're wasting your time. And you're gonna make a false impression where you're like, oh my God, I'm studying so much, but your score doesn't improve. And you're like, how come? It's because your studying just wasn't intense enough. It wasn't as focused as it could have been. So quality over quantity, guys. My best breakdown for how to study, like how many times you're studying as well as how long, will be study 5 times a week for 2 hours minimum and 4 hours maximum each day. This should be enough for you to really improve your score no matter what you want. Like it could be 300 points, 200 points, 100 points. But the point is, these 4 hours you gotta be fully locked in. So what I would recommend is doing like a Pomodoro technique, which will do 45 minutes of intense studying, 15-minute break, 45 minutes of intense studying, and so when you're studying, you want to simulate test conditions. And this definitely applies when you take your practice exam, okay? If you are taking your exam at like the dining room where your like siblings are running around, there's a bunch of noise, that's not simulating the test environment, because when you sit down in the test center and everything is silent, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm not used to this. And that's enough to kind of shake your confidence, shake your mental, and you'll be fully locked in on test day. So you want to make sure that you practice like you're gonna have to perform. You want to make sure you can simulate your test conditions as much as you can when it comes to your timing, when it comes to your breaks, when it comes to like how you're approaching the exam. So you want to take a nice rest the night before. You want to eat what you're going to eat on the day of the exam. You want to basically treat every study session that includes a practice test as an exam day. So when exam day comes, you don't feel any extra nerves, you don't feel any extra stress. It's all like part of the process. This is my biggest tip when you're just trying to study for the SAT, is review your mistakes. I've had so many people that I've encountered who do not review their mistakes after studying. And it's just the most mind-blowing thing to me, because how exactly are you going to improve if you're not reviewing your mistakes? Like, you know what you got wrong. You don't know, like, are you weak on linear equations? Are you weak on quadratics? Like, what exactly are you weak on? And it's such a hard thing to tell if you don't study your mistakes. So every time you take an exam or even any practice, right, I want you to write down the mistakes you made and what concepts these mistakes apply to. Because by doing this, you're going to be able to really understand, all right, man, I really suck at linear equations, or I really need help when it comes to science passages. But once you're able to narrow down your mistakes, actually, fulfilling what you need to do to improve on these topics and get a higher score on these topics becomes much, much easier. Like, the point is, you just can't get better if you're not reviewing your mistakes, guys. So please review your mistakes and do exactly what I say, and then you won't be making these same mistakes over and over again, so your score is just naturally going to improve. Because if you're now getting science passages correct and you're getting all the other passages already correct, your score is definitely going to improve naturally. Right? And this is the best way to improve your score, is just by fixing your mistakes. Taking regular breaks is an integral part of any SAT study routine, because You also don't want to be the student who's like intensely studying for 3 hours straight, because at a point your brain actually does lose in terms of retention without a break. Right? It can intensely focus for I think like 45 minutes or however long it is, and then it starts like going down in terms of retention. Right? The retention graph goes down. That's because your brain just can't handle all information at once. Now some people might be built different so they can actually retain information for longer periods of time, but even they need breaks. Trust me, no person can retain everything they just learned for 3 hours straight. That's literally impossible. It's just an answer Albert Einstein. Probably even he can't. The point is you want to take your break so your brain has time to relax and just understand the information it just learned before learning new information. And that's going to help you a lot. It's going to help your brain a lot. And that's how you're going to optimally study for any SAT you have, whether it be August, September, October, November, December, it doesn't matter. And this is exactly how you can improve your SAT August study routine to the maximum level. Even if you have a week left, a day left, 2 days left, 3 days left, it does not matter.